What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. This is going to be one of the videos some people are going to like because they're going to be like, I'm playing the card and all that crap, but I don't really give a damn. I've been seeing this for TMZ for quite some time, and it's time that we got to start calling this stuff out more, okay? Now, let me say this. Ed Lacy has a problem, and he needs to get treatment for it before he unalives somebody on the road or unalives himself and or somebody else on the road. Okay, this is the second time. And not only is he driving under influence behind the wheel, he's extremely inebriated. Okay? I don't know whether this is a situation where someone thinks that they got their alcohol intake under control, or they think that they're not as drunk as they really are. But you're gonna put somebody in the hospital, or yourself, or somebody in the morgue. And if you do that, then you know what I'm saying, ain't nobody gonna come to your aid. So you need to get help for this problem, because you got a problem. Because it's the second time you've been arrested for a DUI. Okay. Now, having said that, right? And it's not just a one-off thing. This is just the latest in the example of differences in reporting that I see sometimes from TMZ and other media outlets. Jay Cutler, another former NFL player, was arrested for DUI and GUN possession in Tennessee, right? I don't know exactly where Ed Lacy was. Was it Arizona? Where was he? Yeah, he was in Arizona. All right, so Ed Lacy was in Arizona. Jay Cutler was in Tennessee. Jay Cutler, former quarterback, was arrested for DUI and gun possession in Tennessee. Now, one of the things that irritate me about the way somebody like Jay Cutler in this circumstance is covered by the media and Ed Lacy is that a lot of times I notice when a person like Jay Cutler is covered, the articles will be a strictly news report. It's just telling you basically more or less the facts. Whereas with somebody like Ed Lacy, you see a lot more editorializing. And by that I mean you see a lot more of opinion being pushed into this, along with the facts. And also you see more of the details, the saucy details, I guess you want to say, or intimate details, or juicy details. There's a better way of putting it. Are put into these situations, like the fact that Ed Lacy's blood alcohol content was 4 times the legal limit. Right? With Jay Cutler, I never saw that reported what his blood alcohol level was. I never saw that actually put in these articles. Maybe someone can tell me what that is. Maybe they've updated it, but I didn't see that. Another thing about Ed Lacy is, and rightfully so, you saw some people say, hey, if he, basically he's lucky he didn't unalive somebody. This was put out there. He's lucky he didn't unalive somebody. But you could argue the same thing for Jay Cutler, because both of them, according to reports, were slurring their words really badly. Meaning they were very, very drunk. But you don't see this judgment put upon Cutler and this frequent editorializing when it comes to Jay Cutler that you see with a guy like Ed Lacy and others that look like him. Okay? Just saying. Another thing And I see they said Cutler's car smelled strongly of alcohol. Another thing that I'm looking for in this article that I see with Ed Lacy is I don't see the word criminal used. With Ed Lacy, I saw the phrase, court record shows he's since been hit with several criminal charges, including one count of extreme DUI. But I don't see anything saying, well, Jay Cutler faces potential criminal charges. I don't see that. They said that he was extremely inebriated, had found 2 handguns in his car. Cutler was booked into the Williamson County Jail on one count of driving under influence, one count of failure to exercise due care to avoid a collision, violation of implied consent law, and possession of a handgun. Nothing about, oh, he's facing criminal charges. It's just little wordings that you see that's subtle, but most people aren't going to pick that up, right? And then another thing I noticed, none of these Jay Cutler articles, for the most part, are talking about how, according to that witness that was at the scene, right? The one who he hit his car, and they call it a, quote, minor traffic collision. See, the wording is different. He said that Jay Cutler bribed him to say he didn't do anything before the cops came. That's a felony. Bribery of a witness, that's a felony. But you see, they're not going to talk about that in these articles. That's a felony. Bribing a witness at the scene of a crime, that's a potential felony charge. But you're not going to see them talk about that. But I have a sinking suspicion that if this was Lamar Jackson in the exact same situation, they would talk about that. And Stephen A. Smith would say, they would talk about this on the panel on BSPN. And when bringing it up, Stephen A. Smith would say he'll turn to the camera with that hairline, about 10 inches from his eyebrows. And he'll say, put the camera on me. I'm going to get some hate for this video. Oh, man, you always talking about, man, yeah. And you can't really dispute what I'm talking about either. Let me say this again. Not saying that Ed Lacy should not be punished for what he did. I'm not talking about what the police officers are doing. I'm not talking about the law. I'm talking about media coverage. That's what I'm talking about. Media coverage. Another thing I'm noticing too, just to bring this up since we're on this topic. Look, I don't know too much about this guy that was with this boy band. What was his name? I'm not really too big on these new age dang fangled Liam Payne. Okay, supposedly he has a history of drug use, right? At least over the last several years. They say he was spiraling out of control. He had a horrible accident where he fell over a balcony and unalived himself. I'm noticing a lot of people are talking about how we couldn't save him, and this is so sad, and everybody, and it is. But it is also sad what happened to Rich Homie Quan. Substance abuse is substance abuse, right? But I'm noticing with Rich Homie Quan, it's more of that's what happens when you get hooked on that stuff. That's what happens when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. A lot of those same people saying that when it comes to Liam Payne, he's a victim. Well, I mean, he fell victim to substance abuse. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know why one is seen one way and the other one is seen another way. I mean, either you feel empathy for people who suffer from substance abuse or you don't. Because then it makes me think there's something else that's causing you to look at these two differently. And you could try to explain it, but you're still going to reveal where your biases are. And by the way, fentanyl is more potent and more addictive than crack cocaine and heroin, and all these other killer drugs that have been out there for decades. So it's not so easy to sit there and tell someone to stop doing something when a lot of us can't even stop eating. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us, it used to always kill me how Rush Limbaugh used to be able to, I know he's not here anymore, but it used to kill me how Rush Limbaugh was so judgmental of people who were hooked on drugs. And bro, you clearly are hooked on burgers. You're clearly hooked on Italian beef, dipped Italian beef subs. You're clearly, you have an addiction, not just to cigars, but the bratwurst. So anyway, rest in peace to this guy's name. Man, I feel so bad forgetting this. I just can't remember these people's name, man. Liam Payne. Rest in peace to Liam Payne. Rest in peace to Rich Homie Quan. And these two dudes need to get their lives together as far as addictions. Jay Cutler and Ed Lacy. Tell me what you guys think.